Is that, yeah, it's working. Okay, so I just want to show you how I figured this out. Let me fix my microphone real quick. First of all, this is just a random project. Don't worry about any code anywhere. I'm just using this file because it's easy. So I'm going to go document dot create element, right? And now I'll say div because this is the code we want. Now it's not breaking here, so that's fine. And actually, I'm curious if it gets the type already. So if I look at this, it says, is it an, it already figured it out. So actually, if you look at this, it's already figuring out that it is a div element. And we can check that to see, let's try an A tag and see if it actually changes. You can hover over it and see, okay, now it's an anchor element. So whatever way that they're doing this in TypeScript, there's fancy TypeScript stuff going on. Whatever way that they're doing this, you can look here and rely on your editor to say, oh, okay, it's calculating it. So there's really not an advantage to plugging in generics here because it's able to figure it out based off of what you dump in here. But let's say you did want to investigate how this thing works. If I go here and I press F12, it actually takes me to the definition, at least the type definition of this thing. So this is just the type definition of what's going on here. And what you can see is here is where they define what the type argument is. And this is going to take some time to get good at. So I don't expect you to be able to like look at this and understand what's going on necessarily. But don't be afraid to start going down these little rabbit holes. But basically what it's saying is that it has K, which is like a random type generic. It extends a key of HTML element tag name map or HTML element deprecated tag name map, whatever. It's one of those two. We're just going to assume let's go down one of these rabbit holes. So I'm going to go to this one. I'm also going to press F12. And now it takes me to that definition. So now that I'm here, I can see, oh, okay, the thing that I'm supposed to plug in here is a key of this interface. So the keys would be these, right? So that means that if you wanted to do this, what you can do is just plug it in like this. And now it doesn't yell at me. So that is how I was able to go down that rabbit hole and figure that out. But also more importantly, it looks like TypeScript is figuring it out. And we can take a second to figure out how maybe. It's saying that its key extends that. I'm not the greatest at this fancy type stuff, but TypeScript is pretty good at taking guesses as to what your shit is, as long as it's specified correctly. So it might be that for whatever reason, this is a specified enough problem to where if it's a key of HTML, if you're saying that this thing has to be a key of HTML element tag name, that means it has to be one of these. That means TypeScript can probably say, which one did you put in? You put in div. Okay, we'll do the rest for you. So this is actually one of the really nice things about TypeScript is TypeScript does what's called type inference. You don't have to very specifically define the type. It will guess based off of the things you put in. And you can always look at what it's figuring out by hovering over this. So yeah. You could see it like HTML div element. So it is getting that. All right, that's my video for the day. Merry Christmas.